Hey YouTube, what is up everybody? How's it going? Today's topic is going to be on, I want to say boxing, because I know a little bit about boxing. I know a little bit about the art itself. Is it a good sport? Is it a good self-defense system? I would say yes. Only thing that I don't really like about it that you can't kick in the sport. You can only use your hands. But if you want to get good at punching, if you only want to get good at punching, boxing would be like the best sport, to really get into in the art of punching. Because after I done boxing for almost ever since I started when I was about, I want to say probably when I was 12 or 13 years old. And, you know, at first I would just punch holes in the walls, and then when I was younger, because I always got mad, I always had like an anger issue, and so I always punched holes in the wall. And then, well, one day on my birthday, I got a punching bag, and that made it where I stopped punching holes in the wall. So I hit the heavy bag. I mean, I didn't have no gloves. I did it light at first. Hitting the back barehanded and everything, and just did it light. I didn't, really didn't really use gloves that much, and I did that for the longest time. And then I realized, what's the point of not, having having any gloves on, man. What's the point of it? Yeah, it's good for conditioning your knuckles, but if you're doing if you're doing a sport art itself, you need gloves on to protect your hands. Why that is because basically sport boxing is meant for the ring. You can use it for self-defense. The only thing that lacks is kicking and grappling techniques. And that's the only thing that boxing does not allow you to do. Now, if you can train yourself to be good with your hands, do a lot of head movements, and timing your distance, long range and close range, and outmaneuver your opponent on the streets, then if you train for the streets, you can use it for that majority of fighting. But if you just train sport way, you're training your body to be ready for the ring. But since boxing is a good sport. Get the Jack Dempsey book. His his book that he has out there. I can't remember the name of it, but it talks to you. It tells you about everything on how to be a boxer. It tells you what he went through in his training. Um, if you like boxing movies, get the Rocky trilogy. Rocky trilogy is the number one boxing movie there is, and that's the thing. If you like traditional boxing, get Rocky Balboa, the Rocky trilogy. Get the Jack Dempsey book, and learn boxing and stuff like that on how it. And plus, you can learn online. You can look up anything online and say, hey, I want to learn how to do this, and it'll pop up a video. There's all kinds of ways of learning new things, and different ways of learning a self-defense scenery. Me, on the other hand, when it comes to boxing, I like it because it gives me a good workout. It's a good stress reliever. It's good on the shoulders. It works the shoulders out. It works your core out because you're moving the hips a lot when swinging. Um, so, like I said, boxing is a good sport. It's a good full contact sport. They say boxing is like the first martial arts out there in like history. Then like then there's like the second art is like kung fu. Then it was like karate. Then it was like um, jiu-jitsu. Then, or I should say judo. Then it was jiu-jitsu, and then um, kubodo, which is weaponry arts and stuff like that. Um, but boxing is like they say it's like the first martial art out there. Um, it is a full contact sport, and most people say boxing is not a full contact sport. Yeah, boxing is a full contact sport. They do not fake the fight on TV. They go at it for real. They get paid to do those fights. Some people get paid to be put down in the ring. Say, hey, if you fail this round, if you fail this time, we'll let you have another shot and we'll let him fail. And so yeah, you know, it's a win-lose situation. But yeah, boxing is a full contact sport. I mean, I don't care what people say. Boxing is not a fighting arms. Look at Muhammad Ali. Look at Joe Frazier. Look at Mike Tyson. Um, Sonny Liston. Um, who else is another good fighter? Now, if you want to talk about MMA, Benny the Pin. He's a good boxer in MMA. That's the only boxer I know in MMA. But when you go to old school, real old school boxers, Jack Dempsey, Joe Louis, those are the great boxers there. So when you train in boxing, you look back at all the legends, and you could think, okay, well, how did they evolve their craft? How did they get good? Well, it's because they put in the long hours of work into their system of their fighting craft, and that's the thing. And most people don't really see, most people nowadays, they don't even want to put in the hard work. They don't even want to put in the willpower, to become a great boxer. I don't do it for a trophy. I don't do it for prize money. I don't do it, to get famous. I do it to train. Because like I said, it's a good stress reliever. No matter how many times I've had a bad day at work, or it's had a lot on my mind, or if I got pissed off at something. Boxing was always there for me. I just maneuver around. I shadow box. Get my hands moving, and then once I got a heavy bag, I started hitting the heavy bag, and that's all I would do was just hit the heavy bag for an hour without stopping. So when you train the martial arts, or let's say boxing, because boxing is a martial arts. I don't care what you say or anything about it, even though it is just a punching art. But most people think, oh, boxing, you just tap at the opponent. No, boxing, you go through your opponent and you go behind your target, and that's what boxing teaches you. And which that's what I like about boxing because it teaches you, how to develop that power, into those punches. The same thing with karate, but I'm not talking about karate. Karate is another form of punching too. So when you do boxing, it's just a punching art. That's all it is, punching art. And like I said, it's a good workout, good training regimen. If you want to stay in shape, um, that's what I use it for. I use it just to stay in shape. Practice on my punching skills. Um, Really, technically, I don't do it for money. I don't do it in the ring. Um, but like I said, I could be an online coach. I could train people. Whatever it is, maybe I could train them to have that mindset if they want to get trained by a coach in boxing. So, just leave a comment down below on what you think of this video. Hit the subscribe, hit the bell notification, hit all on the bell. You'll get all my videos. And I am Seth McDonald 4. If you have not seen my videos yet, this is just a topic on boxing itself. And like I said, boxing is just a punching art. It's not. There's no kicks in it whatsoever. There's no grappling and no wrestling in it. Now, if you do the old school boxing back in before it became just punching, then yes, there are grappling, there are hair pulling, eye gouging and stuff like that in it. But that's more of like back in the 1800s to the 1600 area of boxing, like the old school, brutal fights, with bare knuckle and stuff like that. Before they even developed the rule set of boxing with gloves. So boxing has been around as a Britain fighting system. It came from Britain over to the United States. That's where I found out on it online. So does boxing work as a self-defense maneuver? It does. It's just depends, like I said before, it just depends on how you train. And like I said, Seth McDonald 4 signing out. Hit subscribe, hit the bell notification, hit all. You'll get every one of my videos. And leave a comment down below. And God bless you on this beautiful day. And stay fit, stay fit, train hard, train smart, do your research, but have fun in your workouts. But be yourself while doing it. Peace.